This is Juan Aguilera at Jackhead Studio 790. I've been learning guitar from this great guy. Great gentleman. It's my fault that I'm not really getting any progress whatsoever on my guitar playing. Okay? That's my fault. I'm not putting anything on Scott. Scott is a great teacher. He's a great professor.
He's in the room, you know.
So the thing is though is this, that when this man plays, watch out, don't get that stuff.
No, it worked. No glass shards in my mouth.
Oh man, come on man, I'm trying to find some inspiration because I really
when this man plays, go on.
It's what I really appreciate is that, you know, he a few years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago to be whatever, he agreed to tutor me to play guitar. Just because that's something that I always wanted to do, but it's an instrument that I really found out that it's really hard to play. But anyway,
it ain't easy, that's for sure.
I love when he plays guitar. He has his own, let's say, way of playing. That it's like he adds something to like regular songs that he does with like Sing with the Band, or even with me playing here, whatever. We do our thing, you know, do lip syncing, whatever.
Find us at singwiththeband.com. Shameless plug.
Yeah. He adds something to every single song that I never ever heard before in a song. That he just like adds like the stamp, the Scott Azzarello stamp to the one song. And also that fact that, you know, Scott, he has a real different way of playing. He claims that he never really got into the blues or whatever, but I think I like to say, no, you're full of crap, Scott, because you have a lot of bluesy stuff that you play. When you play, even if it's a rock song or anything else or whatever, it seems like you add some kind of bluesy thing to it, and it only comes with inspiration. The inspiration is like when you feel the song, when you feel the passion. That's the word that I'm looking for. The passion that it's like you just get lost and you just kind of like, I'm like, hey Scott, how do you do that? He goes, well, Scott be like, I don't know how I did that, but I just did it. He can't really explain it because I asked him one time, right, Scott? I asked you one time. It's like, how the hell do
you did ask Scott one time, yes.
Yeah, I asked Scott one time, and I said, you know, how the hell did you come up with that? He goes, oh, I don't know. I just kind of like, well, I thought that I could add that note in there or whatever. So that is actually, to me, is a gift. It's a gift that like not a lot of people possess, and I don't think that a lot of people have that. It's something that comes naturally. I think, in my opinion, it's kind of like something that comes. It's innate. Is that the word for it?
Innate.
That you just kind of like seem to kind of like be creative, and it's like, and then you can think so fast that it's like you're doing something on the guitar, and then all of a sudden you can add some note real quick. It's like, oh wow, I never thought that. He enhances. That's the word that I'm looking for. He enhances the songs that I've heard him play on videos and Sing with the Band, especially Black Velvet. That's one of my favorite. In one of the private parties that he did, he plays this song beautifully. I mean, I don't know what the hell you did, but it was so. And that's only one of the many songs that I've seen that he's done with Sing with the Band and the videos. And if you ever want to watch this man play, please just check out. If you know, some people may not know about music or they don't really notice it, but people that do know about music, they can like, wow, what did he do there? Or that's not really the way it was played or whatever, but it just, he enhances, he puts his Scott Azzarello stamp to that song. Seriously, I mean, no, Scott, I'm serious, man. You know, it's like, wow, you really, I'm in awesome times. Seriously, dude, I'm not mocking you, man. I'm fucking telling you the truth.
I know you're not.
I'm just kind of like,
appreciate it.
How the hell did he do that? Oh wow, you added that. I mean, and then you're like, okay, Juan, come down. You know, it's like, I'm like, no, but it's like something to admire, because I wish that I could do something like that. It's like me, if I have some kind of gift that I can do, let's say, whatever, you know, whatever that it's. Everybody has something.
Carpentry.
Right.
You want to be the most expert carpenter.
Right. No. In my opinion, I would say the doc. Okay. a lot of people tell me, okay, well, the way that one handles a forklift and this and that, and the way that I can maneuver my way in like tiny places within inches of it, it's like some people are like, wow, how did you do that? Well, it comes with experience. Exactly the same thing with you. You started playing at a young age. You liked it. You have a passion for it, and it comes naturally. So it's just awesome. So I thought, you know, that say that about you, Scott, because man, cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
You're awesome.
Thanks,
Seriously, dude.
Thanks for sticking
No, I mean seriously.
sticking around.
You know, I mean, it just
I could be an
it's not-
asshole.
It's not. No, it's just. I love music. We have something in common. You and I, we do.
Got a
you
bond
know?
for sure.
And that's it. You know, I mean, you. I hope it doesn't sound kind of like
No, it's fine.
like stupid or whatever. But I just felt that.
No, I feel it, man. It's good.
about You
That's
know?
good.
Seriously. So on that note, maybe you can find some inspiration in whatever number that you can probably play.
I'm going to play a number now.
And
It'll be number 9.
number 9. Number 9.
Let me know when you're.
Number 9.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, to end this conversation or whatever, so that can Scott do his thing.
It's like a death, like a funeral.
No, it's
sermon.
not, dude. No. I'm just kind of like no. So this way,
We really miss
you know what I really like to, what I really would like to hear is like when you have
funeral
like
dirge?
a Spanish, you know, thing, kind of like what we used to do our little solo things and stuff or whatever, and then all of a sudden, you know, you start playing like kind of like rocking like, and then all of a sudden you like a flamenco or Spanish, whatever.
I do have to say one thing. What I did last night, I was
In the zone?
on Fuego. I was in the fire zone.
Good.
But we all were. It was just a really good day, and we had a really good vibe from the crowd, as limited as it was. JT's can be hit or miss. But there was a part where you're talking about the Spanish influence. I forgot what song it was. It wasn't inappropriate, but it was daring to try it. It was. It was playing the from the Dick Dale song. Well, it starts, you know. And I had teased that. I forgot. I think it's called Miserlou by Dick Dale. And so those are the chords in the background. So Joe's just, you know, got out. So we just tease that a little bit. We do that from time to time. But I had that in my mind for the next song, which or coming up. Maybe it was like the next song. I forgot who sang it and what it was, but it was something in E minor, like Black Velvet, for instance. It wasn't that, but it was something like
A
that.
taste for honey.
Yeah, which we should do. But it was something along those lines in E minor, and I had an opportunity to kind of. I didn't quite do the pattern of the Miserlou song, but it was a similar. It was most of the same notes, but just kind of different, slower or whatever. Let me think of something to do. I wonder if it's. Let's set up the microphone. Let me do like a quick piece. We got time. Gosh, need time. Need at least 2 flipping hours. Because this is all organic. This is all organic. The way I teach, if anyone watches this, is you're bound to learn something from anybody regarding music. I just have
No, you've been phenomenal. It's just that my lack of practice is just.
no, that's not.
That's
I'm
on
not.
me.
Whatever. But you already made your speech.
Okay, sorry.
No, I'm saying that.
Tell us about something. How you started in music? What got you started in music?
In music, that's a general
As
question.
in, like,
Why does-
guitar playing. And how you develop that guitar playing into keyboards and drums and bass and everything else that you can do. How the hell did you? Which instrument did you started with, and then what instrument you follow up on after that? Like maybe keyboards or drums first, or then keyboards or whatever, and then bass. And how, did you take any music lessons or whatever professionally?
Well, my dad. I was probably 4 or 5. Probably 4 or 5 when they first got me like a. It was a toy guitar, but I think it had strings and there was an amp. I wish they would have kept it. Fuckers threw everything out. So they, so it was like a, little small amp that had distortion, I think, on it. I don't think it had reverb. It was a cheap little thing, and I think it had like a whammy that is more like the Bigsby, which is, you've probably seen that. It starts here, and then it's a big metal bar that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Bigsby tremolo, and so it was kind of like resembling that. So I got the feel of what it would be like to be a rock star, probably from that crappy guitar. And then the next guitar was probably the next Christmas. It was probably a Sears. I forgot what they called them, but it was a Sears guitar.
But let me ask you this again.
Well, hang on. I'm telling you the.
How? But did you? Okay, what I'm getting at is like, how did you develop the passion, or how did the passion kind of like was born within you about guitar? Did he force you to like say, here, play, or did you just like felt, oh yeah, okay, this is cool, I like this, and whatever, or did you see any musicians on TV that you said, oh yeah, I would like to play like the Beatles or whatever at the time that you would probably see playing guitar, and it's like, oh, I like to do that.
Well, going back to my dad, I think that he was probably the first influence, because he bought me the crappy guitar and amp, and then the next guitar was a little bit better, and then he bought an acoustic for himself, but he let me play it. But that was a weird thing. I own that now, but from all his 45s, and we listened to radio a lot. My dad was into, he was in bands. He played alto, tenor, alto. He played a saxophone. And his dad played sax in a big band, in a big swing band.
Back in the 30s and 40s?
Yeah, probably, early 40s. And I have no idea what his dad had done, but possibly the lineage of whatever gift or talent or whatever the fuck I have had been passed down from generation to generation. Now, that said, you still have to foster that seeming ability, and my dad probably, maybe he was cocksure that I'd have the ability because he's like my only son. He's like, I can do it, he can do it, and oh wow, shit, he's doing it better than me within like a couple of years. So one of the big things that propelled me into, I guess not getting serious, but what got me good at rhythm was we would play along with records. We would play along with, particularly, I remember going to like Woolworths or something, and he was destined, he was dead set on going to get, I don't know if it had just come out, Buddy Holly's like greatest hits. And so it was songs like Oh Boy and That'll Be the Day. But he would show me it was basically A D E A 1 4 5 type progressions, nothing too complex. It was the late 50s. It was still the origins of rock and roll. You didn't necessarily have to have a distorted tone, so you can kind of emulate it. Buddy Holly stuff he ended up playing the acoustic, and then I would play the electric through whatever amp, I think better amp that we got. But there was a point when my dad probably realized. So, yeah, I think it's that song. So, all my love, all my kisses.
You don't know what you've been missing, oh boy.
So I would do the basic. I would. No, it's Peggy Sue.
Peggy Sue.
Right. So those are the chords. It's A D A E. Right. So my dad would pretty much play. So he would kind of play it like that, and I don't know if it was because he was a better sax player than guitar player. He's not dead, but well, maybe he's dead to me. For now, who knows what'll happen later in life? Never say never, I guess. But I heard on the record more shit going on, and I don't know if he had those ears quite, or they weren't developed or something, but I could tell, or maybe he just didn't have the ability to play it, because what's really on the record is so it's that ding-a-ding-a-ding. It's the galloping beat. Which, listen to this. The origins of that galloping heavy metal music.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. That's something that I didn't know before.
So because of that early rock and roll stuff and really trendsetters like Chuck Berry, I mean, and staying in that box like he did, and he was so aggressive. Chuck Berry was a complete asshole. I mean, jail time and spying on chicks and
it was
dickhead. He's a total dickhead, but super talented guy. So we kind of forgive him because those contributions for rock and roll guitar was amazing. But Buddy Holly should also be recognized as being one of the greats. So I don't. Did I answer the question?
But actually, you did, because what you said is that
the early influences.
Right.
Buddy Holly was the earliest influence probably
but
for
not only that, but
for my guitar
back
playing.
to your family, is that your grandpa and your dad, it seemed like you guys had a knack for music. So
for sure.
Therefore, that explains your talent that you have, because your dad could play guitar, and so your grandpa, whatever, he played an instrument. So there's a history within your family that you can play an instrument. I don't care whether it's guitar, keyboards, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's see what happens with Piper. And I hope to live long enough to see if she's gonna have that same not influence, but like the same. What would be the right word, Scott?
Well, I'll add a comment.
That she'd be interested and she would like naturally pick it up.
I'll add a comment.
Just like you.
I don't know if she'll pursue a creative career or endeavor, but she at least will have a creative gene passed down. So if it's any kind of visual medium or oral medium, audio or video, or
not necessarily music, but you're talking about like she can be a great architect.
Right, graphic designer or something like that. But and as far as maybe as far as my dad and his dad, and maybe his dad and his dad and his dad, maybe they just really maybe the connection of all of us in our DNA is not a talent necessarily, but a passion trait for music.